Today's practice focuses on standing asanas. This is something that I've wanted to talk about for a while. And so, when given the opportunities, depending on circumstance, I welcome these new concepts and things into practice. We'll see how our practice goes today. Typically, this is a 45 minute level class or minute class, 45-minute class. What I meant to say there, but it just depends on what's going on. When I am traveling and pet sitting, sometimes things can change because the practice is also about being able to give yourself time for self care, self love, and sometimes the animals I am pet sitting request a little more self care and self love. But at least this will give you an idea of some asanas and poses that you can do on your own time for your own practice. You do have the option to adapt these poses and asanas. And a benefit of doing a standing practice or standing class can be maybe you or someone you know does not have the ability to get down onto a yoga mat or into a chair, or they may be able to get down, but if they live alone or they don't have assistance, then they may have a difficult time getting back up. Or this flow can be beneficial for those of you like myself who have work where they're driving all the time, so they're sitting down, or they find themselves at a computer, and so they are still sitting down quite a bit for long periods of time. I have a friend who always talks about, sitting and down is hard enough to do all day. I listen to, and she listens to, actually, we both listen to different podcasts by truck drivers, and they talk about that difficulty. They're on the road from, 8 to 12 hours a day, if not longer. And then also, for some people being at the desk, you might then be sitting for long periods of time and also looking down at a screen. So it can be beneficial just to stand up, get a stretch, move the body. So if you are a part of Burn Along, which is one of the fitness apps that I'm in, if you could check if you're working, you could check with your insurance company and your job, and see if they offer Burn Along, because it is free to those through their insurance. And I have classes on there, and so I'll be putting some more of these standing asana and classes and standing meditations or movement meditations on that Burn Along app. So let's get started. We're going to start in Tadasana, a standing mountain pose. Tadasana is not just standing and just kind of being, but you're really coming into your body. So you can start by connecting with your breath, noticing your inhales and exhales. And then as you find yourself coming into standing, you want to check in with the feet. I always say feet, knees, hips, chest, and shoulders, and kind of lining the self up with the body. So maybe if you're regularly standing, maybe we're a little slouched or a little just kind of loose. When you're coming into that Tadasana, you're grounding all sides of your feet into the ground. We talk about tucking the tail. You're tucking your tail underneath or just kind of dropping it, which can be the opposite of what you do in a lot of fitness and workout classes, and engaging that belly and aligning and lengthening your spine, and your palms are facing forward and your head and vision can be facing forward, or you could have the eyes closed. Your shoulders are dropped down away from the ears, so you have some space here, and everything's kind of stacked on top of one another. So you kind of go from, you might have a really great posture already, but it's just checking in with the self. I took ice skating and modern dance, so we kind of always had to go into that rolled back shoulders and stacking on top of the body with feet, knees, hips, toes, whatnot. But for some people, I know my friends talk about that they slouch a bit and they get up and they feel like their back is tight and round. So just getting in that Tadasana, standing, the palms are facing forward, the fingers are connecting, and just connecting with your breath here. Take some time to breathe. Just regular breathing, noticing how it feels in the body. Where is it leading itself to? Are you breathing and feeling it in the neck, in the chest, in the belly, in the back? You might feel it floating into the shoulders. having that posture, that stack. And depending on what asanas and postures we go to, you may come out of that. You don't have to feel stiff or stuck in your asanas. So it's working with the body and where you're at and how you're feeling. Every day can be different. If you have props or straps for standing yoga, straps may be quite beneficial for this practice. And so you can loosen up the upper body a bit. We're still going to find that grounding in the lower bodies, and we're going to move into a knee lift. So we're going to take our weight and kind of just come into awareness with that weight going into the left side. You could use your hands to support you. You're going to lift up the right knee and check in there. You may notice, does your knee lift higher? And then you start to feel the stretch in the opposite standing leg. You could always start on opposite and switch over. Would you choose to have a chair or wall to support you in this balance? Do you have your leg going out, or is it in alignment with the body and the hips? Flex the foot and the toes will be pointing forward. And then you could use the hands, take them underneath the knees or the thighs to lift up a bit higher. And then we're gonna allow the right foot to pass by the standing leg. You're gonna take your arm around to the back, and the hand will then wrap underneath or by the ankle or heel of the foot. Check in with that stacked body. So we're gonna do a prep for dancer, or a stretch to prepare the body for dancer, this being part one. So you still may find that stacking in the body, that balance on the left side. You could always use wall for support, or a strap to hold the back leg, which is the right starting. And then when ready, just allow your upper body to lean forward a bit. And then you have that option to take the left arm and still find support on wall or chair, or extend it forward. And then welcome yourself back to that posture. Go back to that right knee lift and find the floor. Walk out your feet. Then we're gonna go ahead and do that on the other side. You could take some little toe wiggles if you need. Finding that standing asana. Prep for dancer. You don't have to go into full dancer yet unless you've already practiced today. Then go for it if you're feeling open and stretched. But otherwise, stay with that prep. So find that Tadasana once again. Find that balance on all four sides of the feet. Maybe you're wearing shoes for your practice. Be mindful of the heel and ankle if so. Palms forward, fingers connected. You could close the eyes, feel that breath. A question to ask yourself might be, were you breathing while you moved into your prep for dancer pose? Sometimes we may hold our breath and tense up. So you really want to breathe into the body, inhaling, exhaling deep. It's going to relax the muscles, open them up, and welcome that flexibility into the body. Now you're going to find that stance on the right foot. And when you're ready, you'll lift the left leg. You could also adapt this to seat. Notice any differences there, and from the right and the left. I know for me, my right side tends to be a little bit tighter, but I also, when I use my right leg as my standing leg, that was my landing leg in track and field. So I have to watch with my balance a little bit more. So just being aware of the body, right? You could use the hands for support, lift a little higher in that standing balance. You could always have wall or chair to support. If you have a strap, you would maybe strap that, take it underneath the legs to lift. And then we're gonna take that left leg back for prep for dancer. So maybe if you had a strap then, you'd take it down, wrap it around the foot, and then take it back. Or you can just take that left foot back, use the same side hand, grab for that heel or ankle, and welcome balance here. Something I've been working on, so I feel really positive about my practice being on the right standing leg. The ankle's getting stronger. And then you have that option. You can stay here for prep, or you can start to lean forward. And your back leg, you might notice, wants to maybe move a little bit higher. So my foot finds its way a little bit higher, and my right arm can lengthen and extend. Here's where you really want to remember to breathe. You might feel a stretch in that standing leg also. Find something to stare at, or if you really want a challenge, you could close the eyes. Be cautious if you take the challenge. Then you might want to start with connecting to a wall or chair and then release and see how the body reacts. You kind of get that whole earth spinning going on. Sometimes, not all the time. And then when you're ready, return, find that knee lift, and then take it to floor. Release, breathe, walk it out. Now we're gonna go ahead, same side. We're gonna lift that up again. So standing balance, standing leg, right side again, lift up the left. Find some heel ankle circles here, some toe wiggles. And then release, take it to the opposite side. Find some ankle or toe wiggles, some heel circles, ankle circles. Flex and pointing possibly. Take it down to side. Walk it out if you need. Take a breath. So our prep for dancer also preps us for an uttanasana, forward fold. So with that leaning forward, if you took it. So if you're someone with vertigo or has that complication difficulty of inverting to the floor, you don't have to fold over for full uttanasana. Just be mindful of the neck. You could do that lean, a half fold, and still work with the body there. So allow yourself to be guided as you need. We're gonna take the arms through and passing through center up to ceiling and sky. The vision can follow. Lengthen and stretch and inhale as the fingers reach for the sky. Take a little back bend if you choose. Exhale, palms come together, float through into uttanasana. You're gonna find your uttanasana. Maybe you start with some bending of the knees. Maybe you start with some lengthening or some ragdolls, some side to side. Do what you need for your body. And then eventually welcome stillness. Then halfway lift when ready. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Then inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale, forward fold. And slow and steady to rise. So take your time. We're going to roll up the spine, coming back to standing. Making our way to our Tadasana. Blood flow back to body. Palms forward. I love it. The sun just came through the clouds. It's like, oh. Take a breath. Walk or shake anything out. Release, relax the arms. We're going to welcome the right side lift once again. So left side standing leg, lift right side. And then we're going to take it out to the side this time. So start to open up through the hips. Option, of course, to carry wall or chair with you. Option to use strap if you have one. You could flex that foot. Call it the Captain Morgan stand. If you don't know who that is, it's the what is he, a mascot for a rum? Then we're going to take it forward. We're going to prep for a leg extension. So you're going to lift that knee a little higher, take the hand to toes, and then be mindful because typically we want to find our lengthening and our spine, finding that standing up straight, and then start to release the leg forward. Take it back and release. And shake anything out that you need. Once again, that's another thing depending on where you're going for that practice. Sometimes it's really finding that length and staying up high. Some people grab that foot and go low. But you want to be cautious of your spine. In some of these practices, we may have a little rounding of the back, but you want to make sure that you're not going to tense up in shoulders and to ears. So you want to feel that space between the body when you go into those leg extensions. So shake out what you got. We'll take that to the opposite side. Take that breath, starting off with that. So if you stood on your left leg first, now you're going to stand on that right leg. Knee lift the left. Take it out to the left side. You can use your hand to support you, strap or wall, flex the foot. Find that Captain Morgan stance. That's why I do like go for my promo days, have my hand flat, because that would be the tray of beverages. Take it back forward and move into your leg extension. Just breathe, no rush, no hurry. We don't have to be timed exact. So this is your practice. I'm just here to guide you. Grab that foot, work with it, find that length up top first, and then maybe you extend. Maybe you don't fully extend. Maybe you just have a little bend. Finding that length. Maybe you use the wall and then extend. And then when you're ready, take it back to floor. Walk it out. Breathe. Let go of what you need. Then we're going to go ahead and take left foot forward, right foot back, and find a warrior two, Virabhadrasana, standing asana. Taking and opening the hips once again. Check feet, knees, tail, shoulders. The dog's gotten a little too quiet now that it's like, what's going on down there? Take reverse warrior. Back to two. Let's find that warrior one. Option to take arms here, or you can have them up top and tall. Breathe. Now here's an option, and I've heard this differently in so many classes because people want you to be mindful of the knee and watch how you move your weight between the body so that you don't hurt yourself. But we're gonna go from a warrior one to what I would call airplane or warrior three, where I typically just tend to lift off the back leg and I go into my forward fold and balance and have the arms extended out in front, and then I move them out to the side to airplane arms. But if that's not something you want to do today, because it can put a lot of pressure on that front leg, depending on how you move or you're shifting your weight, you may instead take that back leg, remember to breathe, to the front, come into standing, the arms are still tall, and then find your warrior three or airplane. And then you point those toes towards the floor or flex. The arms can move. I'm in limited space, so my arms are going to stay forward, or I could bring Anjaliya Heart Mudra. And we're going to go back to that knee lift instead of warrior. So right foot's going to pass, come up to knee lift, and back to Tadasana, our base, our ground, our standing ground today. Let it go. Take a breath. Then we're going to go ahead and take that to the opposite side now. So we'll take that right foot front, left foot back, find your warrior two, opening through the hips. Find that reverse warrior. This is wonderful practice also to work on your balance. Back to two. Find that focus and work that core. We're going to find that warrior one. And then when ready, depending, you could step up to Tadasana, standing, and then move into your warrior three, or option if you're feeling good. Moving slow and focused. Find your warrior three by lifting off that back foot. Once again, just depends where you're at. Check in, and your standing leg in some of these stretches, you might feel that in the back of the legs, the hamstrings. So you're always stretching both sides of the body, checking with those abdominals. Then when you're ready, pull that leg through, knee lift, grounding, take that foot to ground, standing, walk anything out, Tadasana once again. Breathe and let go. Now if we move front to back, we're going to balance it out with some side to side. So we're going to go sideways, take the legs wide, Hands on hips, wide leg forward fold. So go ahead, wide leg forward fold. Hands can come to floor to support you. Adjust your footing as you need. Inhale and breathe. Eventually you could just let the arms go soft and the head will invert. If you have wall here like I do, you could use that to support you. Once again, we're going into an inversion. He thinks there's someone knocking at the door. So when you're going into that inversion, then you may just go halfway, but you have that option to go full. You could also, if you need that supportive wall, you have it there behind you. Otherwise, you're off the wall in that inversion. And then you're going to lift halfway. Inhale, exhale, forward fold, wide leg forward fold. Then inhale, halfway. Find that balance. Exhale, forward fold. Once again, inhale, halfway lift. Maybe check the hips. Exhale, forward fold. We're going to go ahead, we're going to roll up the body nice and slow. We're going to slowly start to bend the knees. We're going to raise the arms, find antler or cactus arms. And we have a mini goddess pose or horse pose, depending on what you'd like to call it. So then we're going to adjust. So we're going to break, we're going to unbend the knees. You can allow the hands to rest for a moment on the hips. We're going to adjust the feet. So your feet may have been angled out, the toes angled about 40% or so outward, or 40 degrees. Now work with your feet. You're with goddess pose. We want to keep working to turn the legs out, kind of turn the hips out. And so the feet with that start to turn out further and further. Work with your body, no rush, no hurry, especially as we're opening up through the center and hips. You could use wall once again to help you adjust. And then when ready, you'll find that bending of the knees. Find your goddess, tuck that tail, finding balance. Check in with all four sides of the feet. Once again, are they connecting? Do you feel balanced? Are you the weight distribution through both sides of body? Hands could be where they support you, or find those cactus arms once again and breathe. Option to hold here, or you could lift off of one heel onto the toes, maybe of the left foot. Then bring it back down to floor, and then maybe the opposite foot. And then down to floor. Rest, release, come back to standing. Take a breath. We're going to do that once again. Take your time, breathing, moving through. Adjust the footing. Check in with self. Check in with the core. Then when ready, start to find your goddess or horse pose. Find that pose. I used to do this pose like 6 days a week. So it's weird getting back into something when I'm not doing it as much. And then find those arms. And then you could find those lifts. You could find it on both sides. Drop down a little further if you choose. And then gently release. Rise back. Find a breath. Connect with that belly. And we're going to just gently, well, we'll take a starfish first, then we'll heel toe. I was like, we should take advantage of this. So you can adjust the feet if you want, taking them back to that 40 degrees inward a bit if they were further out for goddess, or by all means, keep them there if you choose, you're feeling good. You're going to extend and lengthen the arms out to either side. We call it starfish pose, but you could also just call it an X. So it's up to you. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release, Anjali prayer mudra to heart. Take a little squat. Then inhale, fill the body, extend and lengthen, straighten the knees. Then exhale, little squat, Anjali mudra. And one more round, starfish. Really stretch and feel the body, all sides. Exhale, release, cleansing breath. Then we'll go ahead, you can release the hands, taking you on the hips, heel toe the feet, back to center. I'm going to turn towards you once again. Find Tadasana once again. So shoulders away from ears. Feet can soften a bit. Still being grounded to the floor or mat beneath you, or if you're seated, Maybe still to floor mat beneath you or in shoe. Still have that core, that center engaged. We'll go ahead, we'll soften the upper body, the arms. We're going to take some shoulder rolls towards the back. Reverse, take them to the front. And we're going to allow the body to loosen up a bit. You're just going to take a little side to side move. So just rocking the shoulders in the upper body side to side or right to left with a twist. Just to open up, to massage the organs. You could go as slow or as fast as you would like or your body requests. Then we're going to do a standing spinal twist. So the next time you twist to the right, hold it there. The arms can wrap around. Release. Find that side to side once again. Your body, maybe if it's like mine is like thanking you right now, and my body's like, oh, we've been sitting and leering and doing all these things. So it's nice to stand and move. Go ahead and take your twist to the opposite side. And release. Slowly return to center. The arms for me are calling to go above the body, so maybe they are for you also. We'll take the arms through center, raise them up to ceiling and sky. Let's find some side stretches. So feet are forward, about hip width apart. Palms may be connected or hands interlaced. Lengthen. Shoulders away from the ears, and side stretch or Banasana, banana pose to the right. Then pass through center, take it to the left, or vice versa. Pass through center, back to original side. This is a good way to work the obliques because you're moving with the center. The arms and the body are just moving with it, but I'm moving from my core, keeping the abdominals engaged. And you'll feel that difference when you're kind of leading the way with the arms versus leading the way with the abs. It might feel a little bit more heavy when you lift through center and then take it to the opposite side. And we'll do one more just so you can feel that difference. So maybe you moved through center. Now if you lead with the arms, it might feel lighter through center to move. Might feel a little bit more easier. Return to center. Open the arms, antlers or cactus arms. Open up, open up, open up. Lift that chest. Take the arms back into the shoulder blades. Exhale, take it up. Release and relax the arms down to sides. Allow the hands to connect at heart center, Anjali Mudra once again. Welcoming some peace and calm into the body. If you're feeling called to take another mudra, please feel free to do so. For me, that's lotus. Still looking for that spring weather to open up like the lotus flower, welcoming some sun and warmth. A sign of such. We're going to go ahead and move in from our asanas and moving meditation into our moment of peace or stillness. So if you would like to transfer to chair or yoga mat for this, feel free to do so. Otherwise, welcome yourself to standing. Once again, soften the body, the shoulders relax, the belly relaxes as much as it would like, the tail, the legs, the feet, the knees could be a little more relaxed here, a little more bendy. And just go ahead and start to breathe. You could close the eyes. You're welcome to join me in lotus or whichever mudra you would like, as mentioned before. And just breathe. I always feel like at some point or another, whatever mudra I am doing always returns to Anjali, prayer mudra, prayer hands, as like a sign of peace or respect to that other mudra, to welcome the energies and the calming and release of whatever needs to be let go and to stay whatever needs to stay. So it can be interesting. If there's any other poses, of course, in a class, you're always welcome to find those poses or stretches or movements as you settle in. And continuing, just breathing. going to welcome time for extended meditation in this class today. So if you'd like to remain standing, remain with me with the eyes closed and breathing. Please feel free to stay. Otherwise, you're welcome to take your moment of peace and start to awaken the body back to your physical space and continue on with your day. Otherwise, we'll allow a few more minutes of silence just to really connect into our space, our environment, releasing whatever has been done and is gone, and just being here, being present, connecting with the body, allowing in that silence to maybe messengers or messages from the earth, the universe, the higher self, to allow them to enter into our consciousness, our eureka moments, they may also be called. If any thoughts start to come into mind while you're enjoying your moment for peace or meditation, just do your best to return to focusing on your breath. If a task or to-do creeps in, just return and notice your inhale and your exhale. Your inhale and your exhale. If any tightness or tension starts to creep into the body, you're welcome to kind of wiggle gently that tightness or tension out of the body, maybe a gentle bending of the knees or relaxing or movement of the shoulders, and then welcome stillness back into your space. Returning once again to the focus of your breath, your inhales and exhalations. You can continue to allow the hands to stay in whatever mudra you find, or you're welcome to release out of your mudra if your hands are preferring to move to a comfortable space, maybe just on the sides of the body, or if you're sitting in the lap. Otherwise, continuing to hold with the mudra of choice that is calling you. Breathing, a little smile upon the face to soften the eyelids. Once again, allowing, if any thoughts or to-dos creep in, to welcome yourself back to silence through focusing on breath. Relaxing the shoulder, lowering the heart rate with every inhalation through the nose and exhalation through the mouth. Or even taking a deep breath in Ujjayi with release of a deep sigh through the mouth. So inhaling deep through the nose and holding for a moment. And when ready to release, exhaling through the mouth. Could do that again if your body calls. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale with sigh through the mouth. Return to normal breathing at your own pace and time. If you're feeling well to stay with your moment of peace or meditation, please feel free to do so. Otherwise, be gentle and slow to maybe start to release the hands, the fingers, the palms, and allow them to return to sides, nice and slow and gentle. Maybe wiggling the fingers as they separate. Allowing the spine, the shoulders, the hips, and waist to relax, welcoming any movements back to them and the rest of the body if you feel called to do so. And then we'll take the hands, the palms facing in, and gently place them over the eyes. Slowly opening the eyes into the darkness of the hands. And keeping your vision faced on the inside of the palms and hands, you'll slowly start to move your hands away from your face. This helps to ease you back into your space and environment and the light coming into the eyes. Take a breath. Palms return together. Prayer hands in mudra, thumb to heart, sternum, chest. Thank you for joining me for this standing yoga practice and moment for peace or meditation. May this flow ease you into the rest of your day with light, peace, smiles, and love. Namaste. If you are feeling called to stay within your space in silence to continue on your meditation, please feel free to do so. If not, it can always be interesting to just practice with a partner like us in this space, in the spaces that we find ourselves, where we are here to support one another through that time and finding that stillness and awareness of self, and to see if anything comes in back to those eureka moments. Or it can just be nice to flow in a community open offering and space once again, whether virtual or live. So thank you. If you have questions, reach out, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care.